Hi, I'm Bopsto, the Outer Weeb.
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder.
And we are the Anime Boys.
Anime
Anime
boys.
Boys.
Anyway,
And man, we got a good fucking show for you guys tonight. However, you guys are probably wondering, hey, why the fuck are these guys uploading on a Wednesday, not a Friday?
yeah.
That's
Why
that's a
is
good question. Well, you see, it's because we're covering a little thing called Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2,
season
and that
2?
And that thing Mappa decided, you know what? Chainsaw Man was like on Tuesdays, or on there are many other things on many other days, but um, Jujutsu Kaisen for whatever reason is stuck on Thursdays, and to make sure that we're not releasing an episode behind the current episode, we decided, hey, we're just gonna make Jujutsu Kaisen on Wednesdays instead of Fridays.
Correct.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen Wednesdays.
So
Jujutsu Kaisen
Isekai and
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. So yeah, this is a season that both me and Red have been very
Oh
much
my
looking forward
gosh.
to.
And
Um,
one that I have currently caught up with, finally.
yeah, yeah.
At the perfect time, because now I can indulge in the differences between the two
You
and
can,
really get
you can,
hyped
it
for
can
the
make
future stuff.
it can make our discussions a lot better
Profound.
and more
Yeah.
profound and whatnot because we got more things to talk about with it. But hey, season 2 is here. Um, we've been waiting for. So we started this 2022. Well, it wasn't 2022, was it? So it's been about a year.
I think we've been doing
Uh,
this for about a year.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know the exact day we started the channel.
It was like sometime in like May, I think. But anyways, we're back to the anime that started it all.
Oh yeah, it's coming back and it's coming
And
better than ever, baby.
I'm fucking excited. We're fucking stoked. It's
Oh
going to
my
be a
god.
good ride from what we've seen here.
I have been
So
anticipating today, which is Monday for us, Wednesday for y'all, that we can cover this because
yeah,
I have just been so hyped. I've been speed reading the manga this week.
uh,
I read through volumes. What was it? It was like 8 or 9. What started
eight.
the?
You
Is it?
started at 8,
Yeah, I
and
went from
you've
8 to 19 in a matter of a week.
yeah, you have.
um,
I distinctly remember you like trying to get over the hump of covering stuff that
ah,
you've already seen through the anime,
right. It was just so
and
painful. I was just like, I've done seen it, but I want to get brushed back up on it because
yeah,
we haven't watched the anime in like a year.
yeah,
And I was like, I got to, get entangled with the background of everybody's character to get further in before I forget them. And
yeah.
I had to get over that hump. It took me
And
forever.
then as soon as you did, I remember you just called me. He's like, "Dude, what the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?"
Like every day, it was a
Every
new dude.
day,
What the fuck? Yeah.
yeah. And I was just sitting there smiling because I was already caught up with it by this
Oh
point,
man.
and I was
And
just sitting there,
I
yeah,
can only say one thing. I cannot wait to see some of the future events animated,
yeah,
especially with this really cool, unique, different animation style that they chose
yeah.
for the
I,
season. It
so
is interesting.
it is, and I'm quite
And
liking it.
we'll talk more about how wacky it is and some of these little subtle undertone little characters come in later. But first and foremost, we get popped off with a little bit different than how it started in the manga. So what I
Yeah.
appreciate is
So,
that because it's May,
well,
and
um, do we not want to talk about the very, very like beginning before we get to any episode stuff or
okay, yeah,
detail? Yeah.
yeah, we'll
So,
talk about that.
there's something that's very interesting that this season does, and this is something that would make sense for manga viewers mainly. And that is, we get this scene of like Gato, like a young Gato walking down this like alleyway. It's really sort of melancholic.
Oh, dude, it's
And
so
there's
good.
this fucking curse just munching on a corpse, and then this curse design looks really good. I think that's like an original curse design because that
It is.
never
It was
appears.
not in the
Yeah,
manga.
yeah, and
This
it looks
scene that
really
they're
fucking
covering
good
here was covered
later.
later, but it didn't show any
Yeah,
cursed spirits. They just was swallowing
swallowing his curses.
curses at that point in the manga. But
Yeah.
continue. Sorry.
So basically, he's like talking about like the sort of repetition of exercising curses and absorbing them,
Mm.
and how jaded he is because nobody really understands what it's like to like eat a curse.
I
And
love the
he like
way he
to fucking
described it.
describes it as it's like eating a
An
fucking
oil
rat.
filled rag or an oil soaked rag covered in vomit
Yeah.
or
And
soaked in vomit.
yeah, the anime, the way the anime sub words it is a rag that was a dirty rag that was used to clean up vomit and shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And
And
he wipes out that curse, and he like talks about how he would lie to himself and tell himself that he was doing it all for the greater good, basically.
right. And speaking of which, the action of him absorbing it looked
Yeah,
incredible.
it looked really fucking
Dude
good.
was just like, it was kind of like that guy from My Hero who could just like disintegrate people, like the main villain in My
Yeah,
Hero, who could just touch people and disintegrate them. That's what happened, except
there's
it
like a
was
blue,
just
it's
being
like a blue
sucked
flame.
in slowly. Like it was surrounded in like this blue flame, and it was just being disintegrated slowly into this orb.
Yeah,
And I'm very interested because the way they did it in the manga compared to the way they did it in this anime, I'm wondering about a later scene, way later. Not
yeah.
going to cover it on this episode, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Of how the orb is created, because in this instance they're being disintegrated.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm excited to see how they're going to do a
Uh-huh.
future scene of him absorbing a specific curse.
Yeah. And hey, for those who haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, we didn't cover it on the podcast, but hey, just to brush it
Mm,
up. For those who haven't seen it, it's a that's the anime way, that's the anime's point of establishing Gato's curse absorption.
exactly. It tells you how
Um,
his stuff is used, how he absorbs it,
yeah.
and just Gato.
Which
um,
for the manga, I mean, this is it would have been around not this point, but in the middle of this arc where it would have been shown how he does it.
yeah,
Um, but uh, but for anime viewers, it's Zero is their introduction to this concept
exactly.
of
And for anybody who
Gato.
has not either read or watched the movie, please go do
Hey,
it.
go do
Please
it.
go do it because it
It's
is
really good.
so good. I remember me and Bopsto watched it for the first time. He come down here from where he lives, and
Yeah.
we just made a whole night out of it. We just kind of chilled in the game room, watched
Yep.
just all kinds of stuff. I think we watched uh
Watch that and then Edge Runners.
Edge Runners. That's what we watched afterwards. But it was an incredible movie. It really ties in like Gato's backstory. It tells you a lot about Utah,
Yeah.
which if you are a manga reader, you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, you
Hey,
haven't been
go.
introduced to Utah yet.
Yeah,
Um,
go. All you can say is, like, go watch the movie if you haven't. It's on Crunchyroll.
exactly.
If you got
So
Crunchyroll, or if you use means that aren't quite so legal, hey, just go watch the movie. You
all
won't.
I'm saying is, if you have not watched the movie, I feel sorry for you coming up
Yeah,
into the future events.
it is. And for those who usually don't watch anime movies, it's one of those rare instances where it's not a anime only movie and it's
It is
completely
canon.
canon.
It's
It is canon.
completely canon. There's things inside of it that take charge. Excuse me. That are very pertinent to the character.
Yeah.
So
But anyways, let's just hop right into it. So we open up on fucking Yori and
such a good
Mei
tie-in. Such a good tie-in here too.
going. going up to this house. I like the way it's introduced, where as we're explaining it, we're seeing this like old like vintage VHS footage of the family living in this house.
Yeah, that was
And
crazy good. Like,
really good. Mappa
oh
did a
my
good job
god.
at that. That's a really good way of presenting that during like a scene of exposition where it's talking about like, oh, there's this guy who is like the president of these restaurants, and all of a sudden like a horrible case of mad cow broke out and it caused the restaurants to go under, and the guy killed himself and his family and
In his mansion.
in his mansion.
And just breaking off just a tad bit here. I haven't seen a VHS scene done so well
Yeah.
since watching um Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, that
Cause
was also another good one.
yeah, so I really enjoyed the whole VHS recap of what's going on here.
Yeah,
Or
and I like how
summary.
there's like one bit where it just cuts to like the family dead
Yeah,
on
that
the tape as
was
well. Yeah, it's like it
man,
wasn't pulling any punches. And what I like is this is all like anime original because it does not even like start here in the manga.
right.
Um, and it's
But
great. You get this great like oh sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
There's this great scene establishing why Yori and Mei Mei are going to this place.
Right.
There's
And
basically rumors of a curse inhabiting this mansion.
yeah, and it's such a cool like there was so many good like transitional scenes.
Yeah.
The first one was with Gato going from the oil soaked rag bit to converting over into the description of the mansion, and then
Uh-huh.
immediately from the description of the mansion we get put into traffic.
Yeah.
And it's
Because they're
Mei
like
Mei and Yura's
Iori.
Yuri.
Oh,
I hate
Iori.
I know
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to say, okay? Either way, I cannot say that for the life of me. I think I had trouble saying that when we covered it the first time.
I think so. Yeah.
But either way, it's those two in the car, and they're on their way, and they're Yori is basically over the VHS giving this the spiel of what happened to Mei Mei, and they're just cutting through traffic and getting to the mansion, and then we get this really beautiful like scene of the mansion sitting into a bunch of trees, like it's abandoned off the highway away from the city a little bit.
Yeah.
And man, the next few events are like really detailed and really nice
Yeah.
looking. They go to open the door, and you just get this really slow, very eerie creak
Uh-huh.
of the door. Everything in the background at this point is like fish-eyed,
Yeah.
and it looks very horror-esque. Like
Yeah.
it
It
really
really
gives
sets the
you,
tone.
yeah, it really does set the tone very, very well.
Um, it
And
does a lot like what like Chainsaw Man did, and like sort
yeah,
of
that's
with like shot composition, letting like the creeping shots to like let the tension sort of build.
it
Um,
ultimately looks like it shouldn't belong there, but it feels like it belongs there.
and what I love about this way of adaptation is it's a way that not only does it like show all the stuff that needs to be shown from the manga, but it like has so many new scenes in it that keeps even manga viewers, on their feet trying to figure out, okay, well, how's this scene going to connect? How is
Exactly. And
when is shit going to hit the fan here? And
exactly.
they really, really take their time with this scene.
Yeah, they really
And it's
did
so
because
good.
it was
And
just a slow build up to where it kicked us into in the manga.
yeah,
Because we get this whole extra scene of them walking up to the door, opening it, the eeriness of them looking through the house.
they're going on their Scooby Doo mystery.
Exactly. Mei Mei goes one way, Yori goes the other way, and they're both looking for the curse.
Yeah,
And I really love the following of Iori because
yeah.
basically she's just walking around just terrified. You could tell she's just really scared. And she's just we get a cut from her doing that to like nutting up and then going into each room like super fast,
Yeah.
and her just
Dude,
exclaiming her little tidbit. It's like, yeah, yeah. Sounds like
yeah.
Link, like from
Yeah.
Zelda.
I like how one of the fucking doors she opens up. She doesn't even fucking react to it. It's like she gets to the room where the guy hung himself.
Right, dude. Like they just
Yeah.
played that off so hard
Yeah.
because all you could see was just a little bit in the side of the screen.
Yeah.
And it just cut away, and then we get into this room where the last room she barges into, it's got a bed in it, and
Yeah.
she hears like a little bunch of scratching, and something moves. It catches her eye, and we just get this slow crawl. The background's like forming around her almost. It's like moving. Um, and as she gets closer, the like you could see her point of view, it's shaking with the
Yeah.
flashlight. And then she dips under the bed to see it's just like three mice chilling out under the bed.
Yeah, man.
Three blind mice. It's,
Yeah. They just
um
rush out, and man,
God,
that was some good animation for the mice
I
too.
know, like the animation so far for me, it's unique, it's different. It took a
Yeah.
whole new like take on animation for season 2, and I hope they continue with this
Which
sort
I
of
think
animation.
I think with this style, I think it's because it's a prequel
I think
part.
so
They
too,
changed it up a little to give it its own sort of feel.
and I like that. And
I
even if
like
they
it.
go back to the original form of animation, just a little touch up, I greatly appreciate what they did with this part.
Yeah.
Because it looks incredible. Because it gives you this cartoony vibe, like this old cartoony vibe.
Yeah.
But it's in like modern day animation and color. But the rats run out, and they end up meeting back up into this hallway filled up with just a bunch of junk, right?
Yep.
And I'll let you take it from here, Bobso.
So basically, they group back up, and they're talking about like, oh man, what you find. They're just basically gathering what information they can, and Iori is asking um I'm trying to think of no Mei Mei is talking about how she was like marking her place as she's going along, and then they bring their attention to like this seal on the wall. That's the barrier that the curse is using to basically put them into a loop, because they keep coming across the same fucking potato like bat like it's like a bag of like potato chips, shirts,
Yeah,
backpacks, snacks. There's a
just all
bunch of
kinds of
random
like
shit.
random shit on the floor. And I loved that little symbol that May May put on the wall.
Yeah,
Um, because it wasn't shown at first until Iori kind of like had to focus on it. Because she
yeah,
ended up, I think she imbued a symbol with her cursed energy.
I think so.
I don't, it wasn't discussed, but it was heavily implied that it was cursed energy. Because Iori couldn't see it until she focused. But
But
it was a cool looking symbol on the wall. It was purple. It looked really, really cool. Like really pretty.
as they're talking, you just get this fucking camera shot of like the camera going down the hall and back to them. And I was like, oh man, the Eternity Devil's back at back at it
Right,
again.
dude.
That
Um,
asshole's back.
dude, and this looked really cool. Like
Yeah.
really, really
Uh,
cool whenever they did, because they went through like two shuffles of them. So
yeah,
like it
that's the other
started
thing I
from
like as well, is like they're talking and like reporting to each other what they're seeing and like what they found so far, and they're walking down the hall as they're doing this,
right.
and it keeps the camera is fixed on where the symbol is that May drew, and they just keep passing it like over and over again.
Right, and you could just see them coming into frame and leaving frame, but real close-ups of their face. And I think they do it what 3 or 4 times in this matter
Yep.
of like few seconds, and then they just automatically just stop because May May asked her what her take on it is. And Yori, this was kind of impressive because they took a different way of explaining it from the manga, because in the manga
Yeah,
they just talked about it either being a donut or a stack. But in the anime here, it was she used the elements on the floor
yeah,
to like discuss her method of what she thinks it is.
yeah.
It,
Because like I think she counted her steps for each loop.
yeah, she did.
Yeah,
Uh, she said she at first like envisioned it as a donut. She's like, if this was the case, it would be a same amount of paces per mark that she made, which was like a bag of potato chips or something. And each time that she came back to the potato chips, it was a different number, 157, 207 of it was gapped, it was different, and that's what made her exclude the donut formation and move into what was a stacked formation of what was
yeah,
going on. And what we mean is like you have a hallway, but as they're continuing, they're taking the back end of that hallway and putting it in front of them. It's like putting
yeah.
um
Well,
building
it's like
blocks in front of them constantly.
yeah, it's like because like as you said, like there's like discrepancy in the number of steps per thing. So what she was saying is like she formed a snack like a line, and because each of the snack boxes were different sizes, so each different
Hmm.
size sort of represented a different number of steps before the loop just restarted, because it's basically using like limited space of like reality to like keep them confined. It's not stretching into an infinite space. There's like a finite space that's having to be like shuffled around in each instance for them to for the effect to be kept up,
Right.
which is like really fucking cool.
Yeah. And Yori just come up with this really dope ass plan. Because Mei Mei is monitoring her for it was a promotion in rank. And essentially Mei Mei comes up with this idea, or not Mei Mei, but Yori comes up with this idea of how to get out of it. And basically the way she put it is that they have to run super fast in one direction to where they can't keep up with the curse can't keep up with them, so that way the illusion breaks.
Yeah,
And I love the way that Mei Mei put it, because she's just like 90% gold star.
yeah. She's given her the Nanami the Nanami stats, even though that's something that Nanami's still a student in this
Yeah,
year. So I'm wondering if he picked that up from her.
maybe so.
Because like he did the whole like 90 points and stuff like that as well.
Exactly. Like I love.
Whenever Yuji was him.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because
Yeah,
I would have like that. That's interesting, because I forgot about Anonymous doing that with
yeah,
Yuji.
yeah.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Uh-huh.
Um, but either way, man, what
So
if Nanami actually trained her?
yeah, or no, trained under her, because
Or yeah,
I think she's older than them, because she's
yeah, she's got to
basically
be older than Gojo
she's
and them.
basically like because at first and in the manga I thought she was a student, but no, she's like she must be a supervisor or like a higher
Well,
level sort of.
in order to excuse me, let me get my words together. In order to recommend somebody for
Yeah,
promotion, you have to be a grade 1 sorcerer.
yeah,
So she has to be a grade 1 at this point, which means
uh,
she's got to be older or just super powerful.
yeah.
Um
But
cuz
hey,
age doesn't matter with rank.
that plan of theirs is really good, but it's unmatched for the chaos that is Gojo.
Oh dude, yeah. Oh,
Because
exactly.
before they can even fucking decide to do this, all of a sudden the house starts coming apart and destroying
I
itself.
love the way that they animated this though,
Yeah, it's really
cuz
good.
um
It makes me look for very specific reasons. It makes me look forward to Chainsaw Man season 2 for a specific scene.
Nah,
How the
I
destruction
haven't
is
read ahead, so I'm waiting for that volume 12 to come out. I'm gonna pick
no,
that
no,
shit
I'm
up.
talking about no, I'm talking about season 2 of Chainsaw Man. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, okay,
yeah, yeah.
I forgot that season 1 only covered up to
Dude, Katana
um
Man. Yeah,
Katana Man.
yeah.
Um, oh yeah, I know what scene you're talking about now.
Yep, yep.
Um, but we're not gonna talk about it and give it away for you guys, for the people who haven't read the manga. But
But yeah,
no,
this
Gojo,
crazy.
Iori goes running, right, and they go running in different directions, as they said, and as the floor was breaking, all of a sudden you just see her get pooped out of the building. Like, she just comes out of the window and just crashes down to the ground, and you got Gojo just popping up over the hill like, "Hey, Iori, I came to save you."
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm here. Don't mind. And what's even worse is they didn't we didn't bring this up, but Iori was gonna put a veil up, but maybe it was like, nah, that's not necessary. We'll take care of this. And
Right,
then
yeah.
that immediately fucking bit them in the ass
Oh,
because
definitely did.
I guess she didn't account for Gojo to try to show.
Mm.
He just fucking destroys this whole damn house.
I really was wanting to know if their theory would have worked though, because
It probably would have.
I mean it makes sense though, but I would have loved to see the process of elimination, you know.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love that Gojo, chaotic energy saves the day. Um,
Yeah. We did it, Patrick. We saved Bikini Bottom.
we saved Bikini Bottom. Just fucking flames everywhere. Ah, that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
Um, but then it cuts over into the opening, and oh my god, the opening, the intro was
Yeah. It's really good.
that was incredible. Like, it looks
Yeah, man.
so good. I thought the first season looked really good. Nah,
This
this
one's
season one, like, that's way better because of the really cool transitions it takes per scene. Like, everything ties together really well. My favorite part is where Gojo's hand keeps getting cut away, and every time it cuts back in, it goes in a little further, but it's in like this deep space. Um, so I found that to be really, really good.
yeah.
What about you?
I know, I fucking loved it. It was a really good
But like, were there any elements in like
um
particular?
I I like in particular how it's where it goes through what this see at least this part of the season will be about with
Right. Yeah. It like it.
with it being about Gojo and Gato and how they ended up parting ways
Yeah, because
and
it
how that
choreographed it like really well.
yeah, and it sure shows the key players of this and even a certain boy that we can't really
Yeah, we can't
talk
get into
about
yet.
into it yet.
Uh,
No. So, anyways, we cut back over. Gojo's like, "Hey, I saved y'all's asses." And of course, fucking Iori and Maybe like, well, "What the fuck, man? Why,
yeah.
why are you fucking destroying this shit?" And fucking Shoko's there too. She's just like super fucking laid
Oh
back.
man, I love that
Natural.
Shoko's got brown hair here
Yeah.
compared to her future self.
Uh-huh.
Because Shoko in the future has black long hair.
Well, she's got like dark brown hair in the first season.
Does she? I thought it was black.
I think she does. I can't
Because I'm
remember.
pretty sure. Hold on, I kind of want to check it out. Just see if I'm. What was her full name? Shoko.
So,
Here we go. Jujutsu Kaisen. It popped right up. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. She did. She totally did.
It's just black because it's the manga kid is only constructed.
Yeah. I got it. I
Yeah,
guess you're right. Yeah. I guess I just remembered her with black hair. All right.
yeah.
My bad.
But
Either way, like it's still cool because she looks like a completely different person.
hmm and so they're there. Fucking Gato just shows up as well. There's multiple bit instances of fucking chibi shit, which is like
Yeah.
really good. fucking chibi gay. What gets me is chibi, not just chibi Gojo. Because like, okay, you know what? With his fucking chaos, with how much of an asshole he is when he's like young and whatnot, you know, I can see that. I can see him be like them depict him as like this immature like chibi character in certain shots.
Well, that's
But then
because he's
fucking
still a
yeah,
fucking immature dickhead.
he is, but he's less of an immature dickhead. He's a slightly more mature dickhead. He's still a dickhead though, and
Yeah, yeah.
but but even Gato's got the fucking chibi.
I loved the
And they're
chibi version because they're just sitting up there talking to each other,
yeah,
and uh,
they're just fucking vibing like as chibis, as
and
everybody
then
else like freaking out and like trying to scold them.
yeah, and then Gato's just walking up the steps real,
I,
real slowly,
I that's the other
emerging.
thing I liked as well. Is I got the note. Um, let me pull up my note real quick, and I can tell you what I put down for. um, Chibi Gato is closing in. Chibi Gato is not. My therapist tells me that Chibi Gato is not real and cannot hurt me.
Dude, it looks so good. It's just really, really funny.
Yeah, I like. It's got sort of more lighthearted vibe, which I feel like is done intentionally for whenever we get to the more darker parts of this arc.
Right.
It's going to sort of juxtapose it, which would be really cool.
But anyway, all this really happened at the same time, and then Mei just cuts in with, so yeah, thanks you guys, but what about the
Shit.
barrier?
Yeah.
And then everybody just has this fucking ditz blast.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, we didn't put up the barrier.
I forgot we forgot to mention before fucking Gato shows up, the fucking curse sprouts out, and then Gato just one shots it.
Oh yeah, we totally like just because we got excited. We skipped over that.
Talking about fucking Chibi Gojo.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like that. He's just like, don't eat him. I'm gonna absorb him later. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. But then it cuts us over to them getting scolded by the principal. It's Gato and
Gato's Gojo and Shoko.
Yeah. And they're just getting scolded by the principal. And after they get a good scold,
man, they fucking ratted Gojo out. They're like,
just
all right,
quick as shit. I love Gojo's response both in the anime and manga because it was both the same. He said, I vote that we go find the culprits.
Yeah. Let's go on an investigation. I think
and he just gets punched in the head by the principal.
I think we need to figure out who the maniac is.
Right, like, come on, don't sell out my boy Gojo like that. It's lame.
Yeah.
But it was funny as hell. Like, it was so funny. But then it cuts us over to them being in
basketball scene,
a gym.
Yeah, this is entirely original, and man, I fucking loved it.
I loved it too. The animation in this was beautiful, like beautiful.
It helps drive home a good few things. So basically, Gato's talking with Gojo about how, you know, hey, maybe you shouldn't have like blown up an entire fucking house. And Gojo's all on like, well, man, if I can't use my powers, in a society where people are weaker than me, I mean, what's the point?
Well, it's discussed differently than that. So like basically he was talking about what's the use for barriers when people can't see curses or see the curse techniques. And then Gato goes on this spiel about how it's important for the public not to see what they do because it would cause panic, and that and then it kind of bleeds into what you're talking about. They're talking about how the society should be protected by the sorcerers.
Sorcerers, and Gojo's is like, I don't want to be protecting a bunch of fucking weak people.
Yeah,
and
the strong should be devouring the weak.
Yeah, and we're doing this over like a game of like basketball, where first like Gojo scores, and then he's just sort of chilling out, and then Gato starts sort of dribbling the ball. And what I like is all of a sudden Gojo just out of nowhere instead of like getting up like slowly, he just gets up quickly and grabs the ball from Gato.
Yeah, and he rushes
Sort of,
in
yeah, and it sort of
and
shows like how much of I guess you say like
intensity.
of like intensity and how much of like a free spirit and kind of an asshole Gojo is, at least young Gojo.
He's very what's the word I'm looking for? Full of himself. Just
Yeah,
highly full of himself. Arrogant. That's what I'm looking for. He's
he's
very
very
arrogant.
arrogant. Yeah,
Um and I like the
and
scene where he rushes in, grabs the ball, goes dribbling it down the court, and then just like lays it up. And like you said, there's this scene where they're getting intense about the conversation about the sorcerer versus the people, and the scene where the ball is like bouncing up into Gato's face
yeah,
was incredibly shot, like, or animated, not
yeah,
shot, excuse me, like really well, because
yeah,
he then does like he tries to
yeah,
go shoot it and he misses.
yeah.
And um
Fucking
then
Gojo.
Gojo grabs the ball and he says, "Oh, you're gonna keep telling me about all this psychobabble, blah 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 shit." And
This moral grandstanding bullshit. I can't stand it.
oh, shut up with your high and mighty on your horse in your face baloney. And
Yeah,
he grabs the ball and he chunks it at the fucking goal. And it just,
yeah,
the intensity, like,
it,
portrays the intensity of their conversation,
yeah,
because it slams into the goal and just makes it. And
yeah.
all of a sudden they're
What
just at a
it's
feud.
it's not just that, it spins on the rim, bounces off the backboard, and then just lands straight down.
And they even animated the smoke whenever it hit the
Yeah,
rim. Oh man, it was
yeah,
intense.
yeah. I
And
like how it's like, you know what? You fair point, Gojo. Not a lot of people are you. Are you? Because
um
damn, he just fucking flexed on Gato like that
oh,
shit.
he definitely did. He
Such
definitely did.
a fucking flex.
But then they just get into, hey, you want to go outside? And Gojo's just like, why, are you feeling lonely?
Yeah. I like how Gato just immediately is getting ready to pull out a curse.
Right, yeah.
Fight. I was kind of
um
hoping we were gonna fight, but nah. Fucking Yaga shows up and he's like, "Hey,
what are
I
you
got work
idiots
for you.
doing?
I got a mission for you boys."
And then we just get a debriefing of what's leading into the next episode.
Yeah,
So essentially we get a good description of what's that guy's name's power?
Tengen.
Tengen. We
Yeah.
get a really good explanation on Tengen's powers.
Mhm.
Which is basically he has the power to create barriers and amplify barriers.
Yeah,
And also see and hear. He's basically a god in a
yeah.
jujutsu in the
All
jujutsu
all
world.
of the barriers at all of the campuses are all rooted. Like he is the core of that.
And he has this power called immortality, and basically allows him to live and store massive amounts of cursed energy. And
Hmm.
this dude's like 500 years old. And
Yeah,
every couple of hundred years or so, they have to get a replacement of
yeah,
what they call the star plasma
yeah.
um,
This star plasma vessel, I
vessel,
believe.
excuse me,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
which he had found, which was a girl, and their mission is to go in and grab this girl, bring her back, and have her be absorbed by Tengen to rejuvenate his
yeah.
spirit. Um,
Mhm.
and I can't wait till we
There's
get into
other,
Tengen, because
yeah.
that's gonna be
It's
so
gonna be some
funny.
great shit.
Um,
But like basically he if he doesn't reabsorb, he will basically lose self-awareness and lose his self.
Yeah.
meaning anything could happen. The barriers could go down. He could just decide, you know what, fuck this planet, fuck these people.
I'm a
I'm gonna take it
god.
all out. I'm a
Yeah.
god. I'm gonna take this shit out. Um, so they sort of bring in with the importance of making sure that Tengen has a new vessel and what it could mean for the world.
But
And so
the only reason that they have any inkling of trouble and why the strongest two Jujutsu high schoolers are being tasked to the mission is because it's the girl is also being hunted down by two different
yeah,
societies. One being a actual band of mercenaries that are sorcerers, who are actively against Tengen, for whatever reason. It's never really explained why they're against
yeah,
Tengen. They just don't like Tengen.
yeah.
And
Well,
the other one is
they're a curse user group. So curse users um usually have the goal of just completely destroying Jujutsu society so that they don't have
that's true.
sorcerers to fight back against them. So
Right.
she is basically like the icon of like the I guess you say like of like I guess you like the icon of like a hope for like Jujutsu society
Yeah, she is.
because like without her, without Tengen getting that regeneration for her from her, they could just he could be so weak to the point that these curse users could basically just roll into any fucking skull and
And
just
just decimate them.
decimate them.
Yeah.
And then
And
we also got the Star Vessel Association, which is a religious group that
strongly believes in the empowerment of Tengen and Tengen alone,
yeah,
which they do not want the rejuvenation of
yeah,
Tengen because they feel like with this rejuvenated body, his spirit can no longer be respected within the religious society.
yeah,
Um, because it would sway his thoughts, sway the way he feels, sway his entire being, and completely defile everything that they worship. And that's
yeah,
basically why they're after them. Um, and we'll get more into it later, but they're tasked out, and we're getting close to the end of the episode.
yeah,
But uh, Gato is. We get. Oh, first of all, before I skip this part,
yeah,
on the way to where their mission lies, we get this really cool
yeah,
instance of Gato and Gojo walking next to each other. Gato is
yeah.
just walking with a big slump in his
Walking,
back. And we get this like cartoon stroll almost, like an old like
yeah.
50s cartoon like Felix or something.
Gate and
And
Gato, I mean not Gato, but Gojo is just fucking strutting while he's holding this damn soda
yeah,
can.
he's like leaned back, drinking the soda, swaying from side to side.
Yeah,
Just got this really cool pimp walk.
I just want to
And
fucking get with that, to be honest, because it's really good.
right, like just take somebody, splice it, and just put it over
Yeah,
like a lo-fi track. um, but then it kicks us into the final scene, which is Gato's in the elevator, Gojo's at the bottom level of the building, like in a little park next to where the building is, and they're talking about how Gojo shouldn't be so high and mighty. He needs to watch what he says in front of the higher ups. You know,
yep.
basic like, hey, dude, just chill out, kind of
Just
shit.
be fucking polite.
And
And I like how as they're doing this, uh, Gato split up with them, so he's going
yeah,
up
yeah,
to
yeah,
pick her up, and they're just talking over a cell phone. Which, you know what, I'm gonna admit is a lot more interesting than them just doing it and being
exactly.
outside the place.
Well,
And it
like
adds
the
more.
scene that's exactly because the scene that's coming up here in just a second. In the manga, they were both on the bottom floor of the building and had not gotten to the building yet to retrieve her, and that's when they were having this conversation. But in the manga, he had done gotten up on the floor, goes to the door, answers it, and there's just the bomb followed by, or no, excuse me, the
Well,
bomb is
so
followed after as he's
I want
knocking.
to. I want to mention another small thing I really liked, and that's whenever Gato suggests he should act more polite. Gojo in such outrage fucking
Oh,
uses his
crushes the
curse technique,
can.
crushes the can with his technique.
Yeah, he just like rolls it up into a ball without even like crunching it.
Yeah.
Um, but Gato rocks up to the door, rings the doorbell, and you just hear this woman coming, and then opens the door. There's a bomb. Everything on that floor blows the fuck up, right?
Yep.
So all of a sudden, Gato kind of senses what happens, and he uses his cursed manipulation, or not manipulation, excuse me. He uses his curses, and he slams the window with these octopus or squid, and it
Yeah.
shatters the window enough for him to kick through it. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden you see Gojo at the bottom, and you see this girl being pinpointed with an
Fucking
arrow,
yeah.
just dive bombing the ground.
She's fucking falling. She's doing the fucking Kingdom Hearts 1 fall
Yeah,
in the
she
intro. She's in the sword. Yeah.
she really is. And all of a sudden Gato swoops her up as this guy comes over to the balcony, which is one of the leaders for this sorcerer
Yeah.
group that is against it's something G.
Yeah, it's Q.
Q
called
Q Q Q
Yeah.
Q. But essentially he's grabs the maid, and he's about to throw her over off the building too, when he notices Gato catching the woman. And I love the little remark Gato makes, because he's just like, hey, I'd really appreciate it if you'd refrain from us showing our true selves. We just got in trouble for that this
We just got in
morning.
trouble for that this morning. And he's like, well, the guys are talking about, oh, no, we need to fucking get her. If you're going to stand in our way, we'll kill you. And he's like, what? I'm sorry. You need to come closer if you want to talk to me.
Yeah, I can't hear you from down
Yeah.
here. And then it shoots over to Gojo. And this guy pops up, and what was his name?
Bayer, is it, you talking about the knife guy?
Bayer. It's Bayer. And we just get this scene of Gojo still talking to Gato on the phone, and all of a sudden a bunch of knives charge in, which it shows this in the manga, but it's animated so well. The knives just stop as it gets right next to his face, right? Because it's Gojo. Everybody knows Gojo's like power at this point. And he turns around, he's just like, so you're Gojo. Everybody talks about you, but let's see if the rumors are actually true. And Gojo turns around, and he's just like, I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal.
As he turns and moves, like the wall moves. The knives get pushed back as the wall moves closer.
Exactly.
And I think, okay, damn, they really thought about this.
Yeah, they really thought about the barrier around him, because it doesn't just push them all at one time; it pushes around him. Yeah, like you can see the actual barrier surrounded around him through the knives. It gives you
a good sort of feel for how like the range of like infinity and how it works.
Right. Yeah. But Gojo's like, I'll tell you what, I'll strike you a deal, because I don't want to get in trouble for going all out. So if you scream and apologize enough, I'll just let you go, or I'll let you live, okay? And I was really hoping we would get to that scene, but we didn't, unfortunately. That's where the episode ended.
Where it ends on a certain tower. Where
oh yeah, fuck. Oh shit, excuse me.
Yeah.
It ends
there.
Oh man.
It's like, well, you see, the Star Vessel Association has decided they will pay you a huge lump sum if you can kill the Star Vessel.
So what do you say, Zenin?
It's like, Zenin, nah, fuck that shit. I'm using my wife's name, Fushiguro.
Fucking Fushiguro.
Probably the most badass character in the series, and man, we can't talk about him right now.
No, dude, we have to fucking wait. We have to wait. It's insane.
I want to talk about this man so bad.
Me too. I desperately want to. But for the anime sake of it, we're gonna hold off. Even though me and Bobso both are like caught up, and
It it
it's
doesn't
gonna
matter.
get
I'm
so
still
good.
fucking.
All I can say is
It
it's
is.
going to get so good.
Yeah.
So
And the thing
please,
is,
please,
there's
please tune in. Just tune
yeah.
in.
And the awesome thing, there's so much original shit, and there's going to be things that we haven't even seen. So it's going to be even
Exactly.
like, it's still going to be a fresh watch. It's not just, oh, um, we'll just do the manga and have the manga be the thing.
Right.
That's kind of the issue we ran into with Hell's Paradise. Is when I was watching it, a lot of it is just, oh, it's the manga.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And
It's a good adaptation ways that includes like not really cut much stuff out from the manga. But you also need to have a good balance of like original scenes that can help sort of fill in the gaps where the manga can't.
yeah, like the
So
little
like
cutout scenes with the fights, they
um
could have
yeah,
added, like, but they chose to just skip
yeah,
through them.
yeah.
I
So
didn't
like
like that. Like, I really didn't like that. And personally, as much as I do like Hell's Paradise, it's not
yeah,
bad. I'm not liking. It's not up there. It's
yeah.
definitely not up there.
No, not an
Um,
anime. I still fucking adore the manga though. The manga is really fucking good.
I need to read the manga.
Yeah,
I think I would be better suited to read it
yeah,
rather than watching it, because I'm really not getting any enjoyment out of watching it. Season 1 was kind of a
yeah.
dull for it was really dull for me, and some weeks I didn't even want to cover it because it was just like, I just gotta like forcibly watch it and talk about it. There were some cool
Yeah.
scenes, don't get me wrong. There's some cool character developments and cool
Mhm.
ideas, but I don't know. I feel like I could get
I think
more
the
from
manga
the manga than I did from the
better.
anime.
I think it better pace itself, and in the action department, there's a lot more. The impacts are felt a lot more in the manga than they are in the anime.
And
But
that's a
uh,
normal like
yeah,
occurrence, like when you're reading.
yeah,
But I love the way that Jujutsu Kaisen
yeah,
has like worked around
yeah,
their basic manga. Excuse,
and
I wouldn't call it basic manga. Let me rephrase. It's I like the way that they reworked the placement of scenes from the
yeah.
manga. Um
So that's the other thing I really like is there's a bunch like all these extra scenes that help give like extra insight into these characters and how they act and how they're characterized. Because
right.
Gojo and Geto in this arc in the manga are already pretty well characterized, but this one helps like sort of establish a whole lot better what they are about as characters in this arc.
I
And it
agree
really gives you
cuz
like the core of who they are in this first episode.
yeah. But
And
with all that
this,
being said, this is a very intense anime for our channel. So please tune
yeah,
in. I'm hoping we can get as much like views as we were getting with Chainsaw Man.
yeah, that'd
Because
be
this is one
cool.
of our favorites right now. Because it's first of all, it's nostalgic to the sense of this is our first anime that we ever covered on the channel, but
Yep,
it's a continuance. And two, we're up to date with it. So this is going to be
yep,
even better week to week. Um, Plus, we both have inside knowledge on what's going to come, so we're going to have like better uh, coordination
better.
with scenes, like better
Yep,
like conversations about what's going on.
yep,
Because we're both caught up with the manga and the anime. We're gonna be both caught up with the manga and the anime. So show some support. If you like it, subscribe. Um, like our videos. If you guys got any comments, man, just throw it down there. We'd love to go back and forth with you guys about some stuff.
yep,
If you got something to say about anything that we do, something that you might want to see us cover in the future, just pop it down there. We always reply. We always reply.
yep.
um but other than that, Bopso, do you got anything else to add?
Uh, no, it's just really looking forward to seeing how this shit plays out.
Me too.
I'm super fucking stoked. Seeing this makes me even more stoked for whenever Chainsaw Man season 2 comes out.
Oh man, that's gonna be
That
amazing.
shit's gonna be really good. Um, Mappa is doing really great. It does make me a little, like I said, like seeing all this does just still make me a little bit sad that Hell's Paradise wasn't just like maybe delayed till like it could become a project picked up by their main team of people.
Yeah.
Because but other than that, like it's fucking more fucking map of money.
Oh yeah, Mappa's gonna throw money at it.
I think we came up with the term Mappa is money.
Yeah, Mappa money.
Yeah,
That's what we call
Mappa.
it. Mappa money.
It's just I'm just fucking stoked. I can't fucking wait.
um, they
Um,
have not failed us before, so
yeah,
especially with the newer stuff, I can't wait to see the future episodes of what's going on.
yeah.
Especially with the artwork that I saw on this episode, I can't wait to see it continue. But yeah, Bopsto,
Other than,
if
other than that, I mean, hey, if you liked what you saw, give us a like, comment, subscribe. Um, especially subscribe. I mean, hey, we got a bunch of good shit coming down your
oh
way.
yeah, and we got a lot of good content for you to follow and listen to
We
before
got
that.
this, and we're trying to figure out for after this season is done airing what we'll cover next. And we got some good content for you guys. And if you haven't checked out any of our previous videos, hey, go do that
Yeah, I
because
mean, we got a lot of good titles on there. We got Spy Family, we've got Hell's Paradise, we got Jujutsu Kaisen season 1. For those who know what we're talking about, the what was that crap? Tanya Saga
got
of Evil.
Tanya, we got fucking Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho was a hell of a roller coaster ride for us. So
Yeah, that show's really
um,
good.
that was probably one of my favorites that we've covered on the channel.
Yeah,
So other than maybe Chainsaw Man, but we also covered Chainsaw Man, so go back
yep.
and check that out too. But
But other than that, I mean, I'm Bob Still the Odor Weeb,
and I am Red, the bald-headed wonder,
and you just got done watching the Anime Boys.
the anime boys.
Boys. See
See
ya.
ya.